Fans, with me, the Prince of Darkness, Kevin Sullivan.
Ripper, you know something? Here we are, Pago. Starting to smell to me. You know something? This happens to be the home grounds of Leah Maivia. And on the memorial, December 18th, you know how you trick someone, Ripper, as you should know, because you are a legend in the Hawaiian chain, and you were a tricky individual, Ripper, but what happened was you lost your heart. You turned to become a local, Ripper. You didn't understand that you were above the locals. You were the king at one time, but now you have just gotten weak and have been inbred with the Hawaiians. You understand, now you are a local. You aren't an outsider. And an outsider has always ruled the Polynesian people and has always ruled the Filipino people and has always ruled the Japanese people, because the outsider can see the big picture. You understand, Ripper? Because right now I see something. I see a trick from Leah Maivia. You know, they're saying that Ricky and Rocky are coming after us, but you see, the brother of Rocky, the soul man, the head of the family, he was dropped, and dropped where no man should be dropped, Ripper. And he was carried off. So I have something up my sleeve too, Ripper. I will not be trapped because I don't have the mentality of a local like you have now, Ripper. I will go on and reign supreme here because I know that Johnson has something in his mind. I know Rocky Johnson has something in his mind, and I know Leah Maivia has something in her mind. And what they have in mind is to destroy a local on the biggest day in the Maivia family, and that is the memorial to High Chief Peter Maivia. Ripper, the difference of you and me is I'll never get the mentality of a local.
Okay, wrestling fans, this is Ripper Collins again with Rocky Johnson. We had a very successful tour here for the Special Olympics in Pango Pango, and of course in Apia we had a sellout at the stadium there. Rocky coming up very, very shortly. Big match for High Chief Peter Maivia's third annual memorial in Honolulu, and you and your brother Ricky against Maya Singh and the Prince of Darkness, Kevin Sullivan.
Right. Just let me say this before I get into this match, Ripper. Right here in American Samoa, I was in Western Samoa. That brings back a lot of memories to me. And kind of my father-in-law, the great Chief Peter Maivia. As the world knows out there, is no secret that I am married to his daughter. I have a beautiful son, so that when I do come back here to Samoa, Ripper, it's kind of like coming back home. Just wanted to say that. Now getting into this match with Kevin Sullivan and Maya Singh. We know what we're up against. We know what they want. The wrestling world knows what they want. Ripper Collins, you know what they want. They want those Polynesian tag team belts that me and my brother worked hard, fought, sweat, went in the gym day after gym, took bruises, cuts on our head, teeth knocked out, broken ribs to hold on to them belts, because we didn't want to let all those good people down in Hawaii, Ripper. And we're not going to do it this time, because I'm talking on behalf of my brother, because without them people right there, there'd be no Rocky Johnson or Ricky Johnson. I'm just sorry Ricky can't be with me right now. He's on a world tour, but he will be back in time to defend our belts. And Ripper, he's in the best shape of his life right now. I think you know that. But I want to say this. I don't have to tell you about Kevin Sullivan. No, I don't have to tell nobody about him. Now, as Singh, I don't know too much about him. I've seen him once or twice. He's a big man. I don't consider him a wrestler. I consider him an animal that will go out there and try to hurt you, try to cripple you, try to maim you. And I know exactly, and I feel that he's under Kevin Sullivan's power. But I just want to say one thing, Sullivan. You come. We're not selling you short. We're not scared of you. So you might see one of the best fights you ever seen in Honolulu in a long time, because we worked too hard for these belts to get out there and let somebody like them guys beat me and my brother Ripper. But I want to say one more thing too, because when you beat me or my brother, you're beating all those good people in Honolulu and all around the Pacific, and we can't stand to let anybody do that, Ripper.
I want to wish you all the luck in the world in that big match.
Thank you, because I know coming from you, you mean it.
Thank you.
Sonny Ross, Polynesian Championship Wrestling has never been more exciting, has never been more dynamic. Aloha Stadium, Hot Summer Night 2 is now history. With me, I have Mrs. Leah Maivia, promoter of Polynesian Championship Wrestling. Leah, aloha.
Aloha and talofa. Thank you, Sonny. It's an honor for me to bring the professional wrestling over here in Hawaii. I can't do without the support of you, the wrestling fan. With your continuing support, I'll try to bring the bigger and better wrestling events in the future. Mahalo and sofa soifua.
Ladies and gentlemen, Polynesian Championship Wrestling has never reached the heights that Mrs. Maivia has brought it to. I want to talk for just a moment on the 8th of October. 8 men in a cage. First time in professional wrestling, in the history of professional wrestling, a steel cage will be put on the platform of the ring. No ropes. Lars Anderson will be there. Maniac Mark Lewin will be there. The Sheik will be there. And the amount of contracts that come in from all over the world of the different wrestlers that want to be in is unbelievable. There also will be a very, very incredible match coming up. King Jerry Lawler against Uncle Elmer. The amount of wrestlers, the quality of wrestlers that come to the Polynesian area is absolutely incredible. And I'm telling you, I'm excited. On the 8th of October, 8 men in a ring is going to be the most exciting and dynamic wrestling event I think that has ever come to the Hawaiian Islands, and possibly the most exciting wrestling event that has ever been in any place in the world. I've been commentating professional wrestling for quite some time, and I know that Mrs. Maivia has put together quite a dynamic card. Remember, 8 men in a cage. The only way you win is to get out. The question is, who can get out? You're talking about Maniac Mark Lewin, who just got off a suspension. You're talking about the Sheik, who throws fire. You're talking about Lars Anderson, the Polynesian heavyweight champion. The action will be phenomenal. You saw Aloha Stadium. You saw what's going on in Polynesian Championship Wrestling, and it has been very, very dynamic and very, very exciting. I know that I'm going to be there, and I know that you're going to be there. So we'll see you at the matches, and aloha.
Beautiful Hawaii, Kevin Sullivan and the Maniac Mark Lewin today.
You just saw an answer. Kid Collins, when you ask the Prince of Darkness and the Maniac a question, you definitely get an answer. And the answer was written in your own blood, son. You can talk to Mosca, and you can talk about brown skin. But you see, coconuts peel and they crack real easy underneath me. Because I have ruled here. They all have laid down and passed up the arms. All the soldiers have called for surrender. Leah, it isn't gonna be your night in that Aloha Stadium, because it just happens to be the first time ever anything this big has hit Hawaii. I am going to make sure that night, when it's all over and the moon is full and the trade winds blow, the tears will run from your eyes like the waterfalls here in Hawaii, because Leah, no brown skin, no blue skin, no green skin can stop darkness. You might have Mosca, you might have Kid Collins, you might have Lars Anderson, and you may have your son-in-law. But I have the power to throw it. In Aloha Stadium, I am going to shock the world. The fury will be unleashed.
Okay, let's take a look at what this Prince of Darkness and the Purple Haze do when they get in or outside of a ring. Here's the Maniac Mark Lewin, just having wielded that golden spike onto Angelo Mosca Jr., who is lying there writhing in pain, suffering from a throat hemorrhage, being aided and assisted by Barry Windham. This is, totally uncalled for actions, using foreign objects by these...
This is what put this young man out of professional wrestling. A spike. No reason for it.
Now look, here comes the father, Angelo Mosca, cradling his son in his arms, trying to... And here's another example. Look, another foreign object. No regard for the rules, hitting the referee, throwing a powder in Lars Anderson's face. These guys have no regard for any sort of decency, any rules, anything at all whatsoever. This is awful. Now look, here we are in Kauai. They're just destroying Steve the Kid Collins. Look at that golden spike right into the forehead. Absolutely incredible. Bleeding profusely. This just can't be happening,
And
Ripper.
for no reason, all Steve the Kid Collins done
Here,
was
in comes
issue a
Angelo
challenge.
King Kong Mosca into the ring now.
Wrestling fans, Big King Kong Mosca.
And King Kong Mosca is growing every day, Ripper. You know, the youth of America is what our future depends on. One piece of that youth, called my own flesh and blood, my son, is no longer in professional wrestling at the hands of the maniac in Kevin Sullivan. But I saw the youth present a challenge in a manly way. A man who has got guts. He reminds me a lot of my boy. He issued that challenge like a true man. Maniac Mark Lewin and Kevin Sullivan want to annihilate this beautiful island. Well, they're making a mistake, because my brown skin has reached out and touched someone dear to my heart. And I'm going to do this for Peter Maivia and Princess Maivia. No, this island is not going to rid the youth of America. Steve Kid Collins walked out there, reminded me of my son issuing a challenge. He felt the wrath of the spike, but fortunately enough, the wrath was not enough to finish him. I came to his aid like the true man I am with a brown skin, because I believe in one thing. I believe in honesty and integrity. And I'm going to back Kid Collins right to the hilt. This Kid Collins is one great wrestler, but I'm going to take him under my wing and show him the evils of Kevin Sullivan and Mark Lewin. They said I did not see the light. It took a young boy to make me see the light, my son. Unfortunately, he's not here. But the closest thing to represent me as my son is Steve Kid Collins. So under his wing, my wing, he shall go, and I shall show him the deviation of professional wrestling, Kevin Sullivan and Mark Lewin.
I have never been manhandled like that before. I'm taking out a lawsuit on Leah Maivia. She removed me from the ring. I'm taking out a lawsuit on you.
Let me tell you something. That's a perfect example. See, these locals here have their own type of mentality, and they run the island their own way. What we're doing right now, Leah, I want you to listen to this. You might be a tough lady, but you're not a wrestler. You're a promoter. In the bylaws of the National Wrestling Alliance, I have looked it up, something you should do homework, and it states clearly on 16A, no promoter or no one around the promotion shall put their hands on a wrestler, a valet, a second, or a manager. Leah Maivia, you made a big mistake, because that could cost you your promotions license here in Honolulu. And if it does, I have the perfect person to take over. Buddha Dean himself has come from the depths of the earth and told me, Leah, you have to be stopped. You know, your man himself. Now you got Mosca with you, a Notre Dame Hall of Famer. I'll admit it, 13 years all pro. 13 years he cracked helmets. You got Lars Anderson, a former Polynesian champion. You have Stevie Alpha, one of the toughest individuals I have ever seen, because the man's head has more blood in it than anything I've ever seen. It opens up and sprays, and when it sprays, he smells it like the rhino horn like he drank when he took the Indian walk, John Gray. And on top of this, you have the Johnsons, who happen to be in-laws. So what you have here is one section. You have the children of the night against the children of the light. And the darkness and tunnel will soon close, because Mrs. Maivia, you do not run us off the island. I know you're a local here. I know you have a local family. But this man is a citizen of the world. This man has seen things no other white man has ever seen. This man knows where the wop-wops are. This man has gone down the Amazon in the river of death and met Og face to face. And the only time Og ever backed down in the river of death was from the Purple Haze. It wasn't from Leah Maivia, Angelo Mosca, or any of the Johnsons. It was from us. So the Holy Grail that we're after, it's taken me a little bit longer because, Leah, you have a power that I don't know anything about. Your power comes from something I know nothing about. My power is darkness and evil. Your power comes from the light and from someplace else. So what I say to you is this, Leah. Let's roll the bones. Let's put it all up. Let's put the island up for grabs. Because I know, eventually, in everybody's heart, including yours, John Gray, that darkness will always prevail. Because when the Haze had last spoken, it was this. His last words ever said to a white man was, darkness will close the door on light. Leah, you can't stop it. The Holy Grail will be ours. Send in every army you want. Brothers, sisters, let them join hands and let them chant or let them pray, because the power I have is darkness and it is always overcome. Akbar! We will overcome, Leah. Anybody you send will go down. He's been struck by the spirit of Habuddin himself right now. He is a wise man and a holy man, and this is why he has spread himself, pollinated the South Pacific, from island to island. There are people that know him, and I know him well. John Gray, you have heard it from the wise man, from the holy man. Akbar, Leah, the last chapter will be written, and will be written in your relative's blood. You can count on that. From the Prince of Darkness, the Fallen Angel, and the Purple Haze. Akbar! The Colonel Buck Robley back in Hawaii. He teams up with the Prince of Darkness, Kevin Sullivan, and the Purple Haze maniac Mark Lewin to take on the Samoan Chief, Siva Afi, Hoosier Brody, and Angelo Mosca. That's this Wednesday night, Neil Blaisdell Arena, Honolulu. You don't want to miss this great wrestling action. And Colonel, you're back in the state of Hawaii. That's true, but you know, let me. Every week it seems like there's another obstacle that with my evil or Lars Anderson, you know, I can smell a conspiracy. Now I've been informed by the Buddha Dean that Miss Nancy's going to be in a shark cage, dangling over the cage. Now this is getting a little obsessed. You know, first we agreed to get into this barbed wire match with you. Now you're going to take our lady and put her in a cage. Well, it's going to stop. It's going to cease right here on the 22nd. When we get in there, Mosca, Brody, and the Samoan Chief, who I've already whipped from one end to the other end of Hawaii, I'm going to do it again. But let me say this right now. Just because you got Miss Nancy in a shark cage 10 feet above that ring, that doesn't mean that Buck Robley, that doesn't mean that Mark Lewin, and that doesn't mean that the Prince of Darkness still can't kick you know what. And I'm going to start by grabbing some hair, and I'm going to run their forehead across these barbs. Then I'm going to start jabbing them with this barb. I'm going to show you, Miss Maeva, Lars Anderson, and you, Mosca, because you don't know what you get yourself into. We're coming to Hawaii. We're going to do it with your own tricks. Your own tricks. We're going to beat you at your own game. We're coming after you. And remember what these can do. They're very, very dangerous. It's a shame, Brody, that you got into it. Mosca, you don't know why you're in it. And the Chief, I know you don't know nothing after the beating I put on you the last time I was on that island. But I'm coming back again. And like I said, Mark, we're going to beat him at our own game. They're going to be bleeding from the head, the eyes, the nose. You know, you just don't understand how vicious that type of match is, Mr. TV announcer. And Buddha Dean, don't worry about Prince of Darkness or nothing else, brother. Because I told you before, sick and devious, and I've got it all figured out. Miss my, you don't have the upper hand. The sick and devious still got the upper hand. It's all right. She's in a cage 10 feet above. There's 2 strands of barbed wire where the rope should be, but we're not going down. We're going to beat you to your own game. Remember what these can do.
Your hand, and I just want you to listen to me. You know, my son was supposed to come to your beautiful island, but it was very unfortunate that the doctors said no, son, because of what the Hayes and what Sullivan had done to him. He wanted to come here in the worst way. But the doctor said no. Maybe sometime in the future. But that's in the past. You had the fallen angels talking to you, calling you coconut, knocking your people. You had Kevin Sullivan, the maniac Mark Lewin, knocking your people. You are family. Unfortunately, I am not part of your family, Mrs. My Dear, but I am going to ask you today. Me being of Latin blood, but of brown skin also, will ask you this question. Steva, I would like you to come in here, please. I'm going to ask you people of this great island, you people who founded this island along with the Polynesians, you people who are deep embedded in family, accept me. This Latin, but of brown skin, into your family. I ask you today, I would like to unite with you to rid this earth, this beautiful island of the fallen angel, the maniac Mark Lewin, and Kevin Sullivan. Leah, Elsa, you accept?
Angel Master, you're welcome to High Chief Peter, my dear family. You're welcome in the family.
In my language, that was the kiss of death. They say the blood flows crimson red, but we, united together, will rid this beautiful island. Just remember, blood is thicker than water. We unite.
It all comes down to next Wednesday night, the night of Mosca's Revenge at the Blaisdell Arena, and boy, it's going to be action aplenty with Steve Offie.
Yes, Wednesday night is going to be the biggest revenge of Mosca. Myself and Bruiser Brody. You know, I can feel that barbed wire right now in my, in my system. I can feel that wire twisting around that Mark Lewin's face and that Kevin Sullivan and that sick Buck Roby, whatever his name is, the Colonel, sick Colonel. Yeah. It just couldn't. That frustration, I think that night I'm going to let that frustration right
like
out.
You really are.
I am. I'm ready for it. Yeah. And on that Wednesday night, things going to go down and someone's going to get hurt. And I know who's going to get hurt because I got a best partner with me, Angela Moscow. Yeah. And Bruiser Brody. Don't forget Bruiser Brody. The people seem to be forgetting. Mosca's revenge is not only for my dear beloved son, but it's for Elias Anderson, the man who's walking around with a patch on his eyes. The demented family of 4. Sullivan, Lewin, the fallen angel, and Buck Robley. Well, the time is drawing a little bit closer. And I can just imagine if y'all are shuddering in your boots. I can hear the rattling of bones some 7,000 miles away. Because if you think that you are demented and you brag about it, wait till you see Bruiser Brody, Super Alpha, and King Kong Monster in action. Because we have one thing going for us. We are family. When you get demented people and deranged people, they might go off in their own tangents, and you're playing right into our hands, just like a fly into a spider web. When we get you into that web, I get that barbed wire, and I run it across your face. You want to turn us into animals? Well, we will be animals because we are family. We're going to protect the reputation of this beautiful island and rid you people, you demented people. Yes, Hitler fell, but the people never got their revenge. Well, little Hitler, we're going to get our revenge come next Wednesday night.
Take a look at what's going to be coming up. Some of the participants in that big conflict on that hot summer night at Aloha Stadium. Here we see in action the Dirty White Boys. And Ripper, this is a team that the Soul Patrol is going to have to do something to contend with, because you look at them and they are a powerful team. Going up against the Fantastics here, also a young up-and-coming team with a lot of credentials. But take a look at this. The Dirty White Boys may seem to be at a disadvantage momentarily, but they always seem to make it back.
Well, they just wait for the other team to make the mistake, and that's exactly what's happened. They'll make a mistake, and then the Dirty White Boys take right over. Rocky and Ricky going to have their hands full, but the thing with Rocky and Ricky, the Soul Patrol, they don't make too many mistakes.
That's right indeed. Good roll-up, but look at that. Coming off with a vicious clothesline. Fantastic number one down on the ground. Referee in position, and there's a count and another win by the Dirty White Boys. Look at that. The lights came on, and who's victorious? The Dirty White Boys. Here we see them in action again, this one at Block Arena. You've got the Dirty White Boys going up. Here's Alapati Purcell at a terrible disadvantage after having been pummeled during the previous sections of this match, which we are joining in progress. There's the tag.
Uh-oh, look out, Dunbar. Here it comes. Look out.
That patented move, that clothesline coming off the top rope. Another count of 1, 2, 3. And again, the Dirty White Boys standing victorious in the center of the ring. Okay, Dirty White Boys again in another match here. Watch this move. Double Russian leg sweep. See, they have a whole group of finishing holds that they can use. Throw this man across. Picks his man up. It looks like it's going to be an airplane spin. Reverses it into that patented Tennessee backdrop. And it's a count again of 1, 2, 3. The Dirty White Boys victorious again. Well, I tell you, Rocky and Ricky Johnson have really got to watch out for these guys.
They certainly do, because I'm telling you, they have been cleaning all slates clean. Every opponent they have met in the last 6, 7, 8 months has gone down to defeat, Dunbar. They are right now one of the hottest teams. And look out, here it goes again.
See, there's that patented clothesline, and that's good for another cover. Referee down for a 1, 2, 3, a most powerful team. Here we have some more action with the Dirty White Boys. Look at that. Sets his man up for a suplex, takes him right over with a high vertical suplex down to the mat. Immediately on his man, the tag is made. They tag in and out. And again, that vicious finishing hold of theirs. A count of 1, 2, 3, and it's all over again. Now, Rocky and Ricky Johnson have been studying the tapes, but all you can say is these guys are incredible. Here they are going up against the NWA World Tag Team Champions,
the Rock and Roll Express.
Now look how they handle themselves against the Rock and Roll Express.
These are the NWA World Tag Team Champions right now. The Rock and Roll Express against the Dirty White Boys. And the Dirty White Boys, you think they're in trouble, but look out, Dunbar. They're way ahead of you.
Okay, Rock and Roll Express doing some fancy footwork here. Taking 2 men on at once. Drop kick followed by a body slam, followed by another body slam. Looks like they're well in command of this match, but you can't sell the Dirty White Boys short.
And they give it to you all they got. They think you got them in trouble right now, Dunbar, but watch the Dirty White Boys now. The Rock and Roll Express is rolling. Right now they're rolling, and they're rolling good.
Set up for a collision. Oh, look at that one. Dirty White Boys in the center of the ring on a head-to-head collision. Look out, Dunbar. Grapevine into an abdominal stretch. Referee's got his back turned now, and illegal man in the ring coming in and assisting. Never give him an inch, Dunbar. Hook. Here goes the referee. 1, 2, 3, and the Dirty White Boys have just beat the NWA World Tag Team Champions. And now they're going after the Polynesian Pacific Tag Team belts, representing 1.5 billion people around the Pacific Basin. They're your winners. You know, it's going to be a night of champions in Honolulu, brother, and I'm going to be there, me and my partner, because we're going to be the champions, the tag team champions after it's all over. There's a lot of stipulations on this wrestling card, and Andre the Giant's going to be there, Jack. And like I said, nobody can slam him, but there's $20,000 to the man that can walk up and slam King Kong Bundy, and that's a lot of money. There's a lot of people on the card. But Rocky Johnson, you and your brother, Ricky Johnson, better be prepared when we hit Honolulu, because we're coming there for one thing. That's to lead the island for those Polynesian Tag Team titles. We're coming all the way from Bucksport, Tennessee, brother, where they've rolled men at and where they're tough. Last time we hurt you real bad, they carried you out on a stretcher. This time, we plan to finish the job. Get ready, Honolulu. Get ready for the Dirty White Boys, the new tag team.
Okay, wrestling fans, Ripper Collins. I'm going to be talking to one of the biggest men in wrestling today, Rocky Johnson, who on Wednesday night at the Neo Blaisdell Arena has got his brother Ricky with him, and I'm going to tell you it's going to be a barn burner, because you guys have got those championships and you got 2 heavy numbers coming
That's
after
right, Ripper. I just want to say, you know how hard me and my brother worked for these titles. We worked hard. We represent everybody on this island. And to go out there and go through what we did, we think a lot of the belts, a lot of the people, and a lot of this island. And now they got 2 guys coming in here called the Lone Riders, 300 pounds apiece, and they just think they're going to come in here and walk all over us and just take them belts from us and take them out of this island back to the mainland. But I just want to say, they got another thing coming. Now, I'm not underestimating them. I'm not saying they're rough and tough, because they are. They've beaten every team they've been up against, and they'll do anything to win. But we know what we have to do, and we also know what we represent and who we represent. So if they want them belts, we're not going to hand them to them. They're going to have to come and get them. And, brother, the only way you're going to beat me and my brother is to carry us out of that ring. And like I said, I'm not selling you short, but I just don't feel that you guys are man enough to do it, because we've got something that you don't have. And you know what that is? We got all these people here in the islands behind us.
And you got a lot of determination. You got a lot of guts, brother. And you and your brother have worked harder, I guess, than any team I've ever seen team up to hold those championship belts. And we're going to see a little bit of the history and the story behind the Polynesian Pacific Tag Team Championship right now, Dunbar. And here we go with Sakalia and Tui, who held that title for about 2 years against Tony Bourne and Doug Summers. And there's a big high suplex and a cover by Sakalia. 1, 2, 3. And there's another big win. Sakalia and Tui, still the champions.
And the challenges kept coming from all over the world. Here you see the 2 of them manhandling Sakaguchi, the big man from the country of Japan.
And it all ended right here, Dunbar, in our studio when Ricky covered Tui for the belts.
And now the Soul Patrol of the champions, defending against major teams like Bad News Allen and Tiger Chung Lee, with a capacity crowd at the Blaisdell Arena in Honolulu, Hawaii.
Action galore, I'll tell you right now, Dunbar. This was one of the hardest fought battles for that title that has ever been seen. Action from time the bell started until it was over. And look, it's a 1, 2, 3. Rocky and Ricky retained the title at the Blaisdell Arena.
But the bad blood between the Soul Patrol and the former champions continued, finally culminating in a loser leave town match between Ricky Johnson and Super Samoan Sakalia. Ricky is victorious, and Sakalia had to leave town. Meeting the former world champions before a capacity crowd at the Blaisdell Arena in Honolulu, Hawaii. Here you see Rocky Johnson with a headbutt on Dick Murdoch. Murdoch coming over to strike Ricky Johnson in the corner. Adrian Adonis heading for the top turnbuckle. And again, a snap mare by Dick Murdoch. Adonis going back to Ricky. Ricky firing back with a shot. Jumping over. Sunset flip. And Dick Murdoch was down for a count of 3.
And again, Rocky and Ricky Johnson were victorious. And then the Dirty White Boys enter the picture. And here they are against the Fantastics. What a great little team they are. But look at that, Dunbar. The Dirty Dirty White Boys are pulling out the stops, and here they win the match against the Fantastics.
And the Dirty White Boys, in their quest for the Polynesian Pacific Championship belts, had to prove themselves. Here you see them in action against the Rock and Roll Express, the former NWA World Champions. Look at the Dirty White Boys, taking a man from behind, hurling him to the canvas. It was a hard-fought battle, back and forth, but the count of three proved the Dirty White Boys victorious again.
And then, Dunbar, we go right into Rocky and Ricky Johnson, the Soul Patrol. And the Dirty White Boys again use everything they can. Watch what's going to happen now. The big heavy motorcycle boot with the referee not looking. The big heavy boot on Rocky Johnson's head. They stopped at nothing trying to get those titles. Anything goes. And they pulled everything they had out, and Rocky and Ricky kept coming. Here they are with 20,000 people at Aloha Stadium. Winner takes all in this match, and this is where everything was on the line. The title, double money, and of course the prestige of representing 1.5 billion people. And watch the boot again, Dunbar, but this time it's going to cost them a double cross there. Rocky ducked on him, and boom, look out, here we go. 1, 2, 3, and Rocky and Ricky Johnson are the Polynesian Tag Team Champions. Again, they've done it. They've done it. And now the Long Riders, the pride of the AWA, are coming here for that title. Two of the meanest men in wrestling today. And they're coming for Rocky and Ricky. And the title that means 1.5 billion people. Wednesday at the Blaisdell Arena. It's going to happen at the Superstar Jamboree. The big title match. Wednesday at the Neo Blaisdell Arena.
Introduced me, you know something? I have seen a lot of strange things in my time, and I've seen a lot of strange locals. But I'll see that Adrian Street fits right in here with these locals. I mean, he looks, I went to a bar the other night, and I went into the bar. It must have been a wrong type of bar for me. I was like I forget what they call it, like Mahu or something, Yahoo, Mahu. But I walked in there, and everybody looked like it was an Adrian Street lookalike contest. Now, these are the type of people that don't infiltrate those kind of bars. We're not locals. You see, we're mainlanders. You know, Mrs. Maivia, I've told you this before. You can line them all up. You can ask for everybody's help. You can bring in Bruiser Brody with his 2x4. You can bring everybody, Tui, them all. Line them up. But MM has called us. That's Mr. Phillips to you. You understand? Mr. Phillips is the man with the green. Mr. Phillips has brought in a man called Mr. B, and we're going to see how Adrian Street, how tough he is tonight. If Adrian Street don't have his purse with him, he doesn't have a chance, because he's just like most of these locals around here. A little strange, dressed a little funny, and a lot of color in their hair.